Well, that main event was pretty good. I'm John Retton with my review of AEW Dark. The rest of the show was a bit of a mixed bag. Some good, some meh, and one particularly embarrassing match where they should have gotten the guy another opponent or just not had the match at all because, yeah, that was really fucking bad. If you don't know what match I'm talking about, well, it won't take long for me to talk about it in this review, but you can probably guess if you've been watching my channel for even just a few weeks. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and hopefully once they start touring again, Elevation and Dark will be no longer than an hour because they can focus on some people, have the right amount of squash matches, and smash people over and everything, but not stretch it out to almost 2 hours like this show was. Anyway, Taz and Excalibur on commentary, and Lance Archer versus outlandish Ziki Dyson. It was a roll of the dice, and it came up snake eyes for Mr. Ziki because Archer just tossed him in the ring during his entrance and everything. And I've seen Ziki Dyson at some indie shows and on NWA. And also on Primetime Live, and the guy can work, and he really, is an outlandish personality, so the name fits. And he's certainly, pretty good in the ring. But Archer ate him alive, beat him with a blackout in like 2 minutes. And then Matt Hardy and TH2, why is this a thing? Why are we trying to pretend like Matt Hardy managing people? This collection of goofs is really a good thing. Even if they're talented, it's just not a good stable. It's not a good faction. There's too many factions in AEW, too many in New Japan, too many factions all over the place. It's like the Monday Night Wars on freaking steroids. So anyway, he offers them double their rate. Instead of $4,200, it's $8,450. That is double. Math really works. And Christian Cage is the target. And Helico is going to have to take him out on Dynamite because, as Matt says, he's been a thorn in my side for 20 years. Great, we're referencing stuff where these guys probably shouldn't have even, been in a wrestling ring like about 7 years ago, and now it's 2021. But you know what? It is what it is. So we have Abaddon versus Willow Nightingale. Stark's on commentary for this and a few other matches. I love Abaddon. She's great. Great personality, invested in this gimmick. Willow certainly isn't that bad, but she got eaten alive here. The buckle crash by Abaddon. Good freaking grief, that was brutal. STF by Willow, that was very nice. And then Abaddon was like, no, I'm going to bite you. I'm going to bite another woman. Giggity. And then hits a very, very unique DDT. 1, 2, 3. Abaddon gets the victory. So then we have Cesar Bononi versus Cyrus. Just Cyrus, not Cyrus Virus, not Cyrus Grissom, not Cyrus, who the hell knows? He's Cyrus, he's a big guy, and he tries a moonsault. Big man fight. This wasn't very good. This wasn't very good, I'm sorry. I did a weird winding slam, 1, 2, 3. I don't really have anything bad to say about this, beyond it being not very good. And Helico versus Matthew Justice. This guy Justice has something, and that something went out the window when he crashed violently into the guardrail. I hope he's okay. And Navarro death roll for the win in a couple minutes. But this Matthew Justice has some size, and hopefully, if he's alright after that guardrail bump, because again, that was brutal, maybe they can bring him back. So we then have Dante Martin saying that he is coming for Matt Sydal. Lol. And then Ty Conte with the kid taking on Natalya Markova. This match took twice as long as it should have. Ty Conte is somebody that they can really feature, and I don't know who this Natalya woman is. I have nothing against her, but I wasn't really that impressed with anything she did. DD Ty, and it took twice as long as it needed to for Ty Conte to get the victory. Chaos Project, Serpentico and Luther versus JP and Tommy Daly in Daly's place. Daily action. Gross. So, Jumpstart, the streamers are in the ring for seemingly forever. Luther does sort of an enziguri, which is about the best way I can describe it. I mean, the guy's trying, but the guy doesn't have it anymore. And we get double knees off the top, 1, 2, 3. Let's just keep rolling through these matches. Marvez asks Janela about his injuries. And Janela says, I don't want to talk about that. Let's go to more titty bars. And then Sonny's like, hey, why don't you come and be my, be my second in the corner? Even though you abandoned me a few weeks ago and we're just seemingly forgetting about that, they're making Sonny look like an idiot. And Janela says, yeah, I'll be there. Hey, Marvez, let's go to the bar. They're breaking up a team that really didn't have much of anything anyway, and we're supposed to care. Oh, look, Marco Stunt versus a guy named Ariel Dominguez. I have nothing against Mr. Ariel Dominguez, and I hope they bring him back, but no. I do not want to see this motherfucking embarrassing twerp in a goddamn wrestling ring. Marco Stunt being in any wrestling company devalues it as far as presenting him as a wrestler. You want to have him be, a manager, or you want to have him be a mascot outside the ring? Fine. You want to do that? No. Anybody that has to sell for him looks like a goddamn idiot. I sat in an indie crowd and had to hear a bunch of people cheer him. And if you happen to have been part of that indie crowd, cool if you like Marco Stunt. I don't. He's fucking embarrassing to watch. He's a motherfucking stupid little twerp that shouldn't be in the ring. And yeah, I'm going to say that because guess what? I understand this much. Wrestling should be for everybody, but there has to be certain levels, and this was bad. Marka won. Whatever. Sunny Kiss versus Aaron Solo with the Factory. Janela was not at ringside. I hope this leads to Sunny actually being featured and utilized a little bit more. I'm not saying he's a great wrestler, but he's a great athlete, and by God, they need to do something to justify the hype that they gave him when they had him at the press conference. It was fine. We get a sit-out, pedigree variation, 1, 2, 3. We get a beatdown. No Janela. Oh, pretends to be shocked. Pretends to care. Not that I don't care about Sunny Kiss. Does anybody really give a shit about this Janela-Sunny Kiss feud? Does anybody? Really? If you do, cool. Nyla Rose versus somebody named Misa Kate. Can we get rid of Vicky? For the love of God, can we get rid of Vicky? Can we bring Eddie back and, have her take his place? Squash, chokeslam, backbreakers, beast bomb, 1, 2, 3. Nothing against Misa Kate, but Misa Kate. It sounds like a Jar Jar Binks saying. But there we go. Bear Bronson versus QT Marshall. Starks on commentary, and Bear Bronson looked impressive here. QT is a good wrestler. He's also bland as freaking white bread. Not even Wonder Bread. Not even good white bread. God damn it. QT just, did a diving headbutt at one point. Bear Bronson did some nice clotheslines and a spine buster. Ugly people, have nothing to lose. Ricky Starks is correct. As an ugly person, I have nothing to lose. And I've never had anything to lose. So sit out on QT. We get a senton for 2. And then we get a kick punch that's cutting in the mind. And we get a 3 count. Didn't even want a bar to rhyme there. Thunder Rosa versus Megan Bayne. Who had a huge helmet. Her magic helmet. Anyway. I love watching Thunder Rosa wrestle. She broke down the bigger woman, and Megan got in some shots, but really couldn't get in much, and the ankle lock got the victory. Thunder Rosa, love watching her wrestle. Once again, one of my favorite wrestlers in the world. Mixing men and women there, one of my favorites. I will always lock into watching Thunder Rosa wrestle, even if it's a squash match like this. 10, Grayson and Colt versus Kit Sackett, Dave Barry, and Justin Law. The kids at ringside. Again, Colt yucks it up with them. In this match, certainly existed. Nothing against the guy, as the enhancement talents here, but I have a hard time carrying when the Dark Order is involved. Nightfall on Law, Night Law, if you will. It's like Night Court, but for suckers. 1, 2, 3. Kylan King and Big Swole with Red Velvet versus the Sea Stars. Vox and Delmy XO, I think is her name. Forgive me. They apparently have a 1-0 record in AEW as far as a team. I don't remember who the fuck they faced. I think they might have faced those 2 Samoan sisters, but so many of these matches blend together that I'm not even sure. Well, Kylan King should be featured more. Swole has personality. And that's about it. And they got the victory after Kingdom Falls on Vox, or was it on Vox or Delmy? It was on one of them, 1, 2, 3. Shivani then interviews the Factory. QT tries to display personality, and that was it. Matt Sydal versus Dante Martin. Flippy shit with good wrestling and good. This would have belonged on Dynamite, but this was a good hook. If you sat through all this show, or you skipped through some of this stuff and fast forwarded because you didn't care about some of it, you were rewarded with a pretty damn good match because Matt Sydal is a great veteran, and Dante Martin has a very bright future. Hopefully his brother comes back soon, but Darius, I believe, is out with an ACL injury, so he's out for at least 6 more months, if not more. But yeah, the submission work. Saito was much more aggressive. He even was like shouting at Dante to get fired up and everything. Jumping stunner by Dante. That was beautiful. That was really good shit. Michinoku driver for 2. Lung blower by Dante for 2. We get a Meteora for 2 that looked really bad. Like he landed badly on his legs. But then later, lightning spiral 1, 2, 3. And show respect at the end. So good main event. Rest of the show is mixed bag. And that, you know what, it was really just 13 matches and Ariel having to carry a goddamn kid. Poor guy. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.